Earlier this year, Beatport announced Beatport Link. It's a music streaming subscription service that lets you play tracks from the entire Beatport catalog right on your software. It's like renting the music that you're playing instead of owning it. It's already available in beta, and in this review, we're going to take a look at how it works and how it's implemented in Rekordbox DJ. Currently, it's only available in WeDJ, which is Pioneer DJ's iOS app, and Rekordbox DJ, though the version of Rekordbox DJ is also a beta at the time of this filming. So apart from doing just a normal review, which is what we always do in Digital DJ Tips, I thought it might be fun and very, very risky if I tried gigging with both a beta of Rekordbox DJ and a beta of Beatport Link. What have I got to lose, right? Apart from, clearing the dance floor and people booing me the entire time while I restart my computer if it all messes up. I love a good technical challenge anyway, so I did it for this review. You only live once. And of course, I highly discourage you from trying this, and that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. So you wouldn't have to do it yourself.
Another thing is, according to the terms and conditions of Beatport Link, you're not supposed to be gigging with this in a public space. But hey, what better way to stress test this than to actually use it in a real-world scenario with actual people on the dance floor, right?
So, is music streaming about to change digital DJing? Well, we're gonna find out in this review. Don't forget to like and share this video and leave a comment below and let us know what you think about streaming in DJ software. Let's get to it.
You need to sign up for Beatport Link over at the Beatport site, and there are 3 pricing tiers here. The basic Beatport Link lets you stream music from your DJ app and create playlists, which are essential as we'll see later on. Next is Beatport Link Pro, which has the same features as Beatport Link, but with the offline locker capability, and that basically lets you store 50 songs. And the offline locker is a feature DJs have been asking for when it comes to streaming in DJ software because it lets you store songs in your DJ app and that lets you play them without the need for an internet connection. And we're going to see how well that works later in this review. Now finally, Beatport Link Pro Plus gets you all the goodies of the previous tiers, but this time with a 100-song capacity for the offline locker. So if you're an actively gigging DJ, say, and you plan on relying heavily on Beatport Link, this might be the way for you to go. Although I do think that $59.99 a month is pricey, considering that, well, you don't really own any of the music that you're playing. So anyway, I signed up for the Beatport Link Pro plan just for this review. And all plans come with 30-day free trials so you can test if Beatport Link is right for you. Now, the next thing I did was I downloaded and installed the latest Rekordbox DJ beta, which lets you log in to Beatport Link. And after a few prompts telling me that, yes, this is a beta version and it could be very unstable and definitely not for gig or club use, I was able to get it running. And the next thing I needed to do was to log into my Beatport Link account within Rekordbox DJ, and that basically gave me these new playlist tree options. Now, there are 2 ways to play music from Beatport Link. The first is you can pick tracks inside the Rekordbox DJ browser, and there's a search bar that lets you look for a song from the entire Beatport catalog, over 6 million songs, and there are default playlists that divide those millions of songs into subgenres, but then you'd still have to scroll through thousands of songs, which can be really unintuitive, or at least not as intuitive as simply going to the Beatport site and looking for the tracks there. Now, that second way is more practical, and as I previously mentioned, it involves simply going to beatport.com, logging into your account, creating a playlist, and adding songs to that playlist. It's a lot easier to do in your internet browser than in Rekordbox DJ, though there are still some usability and workflow tweaks that can be done. For example, it would be nice to be able to add songs to a playlist simply by clicking on a drop down beside a song, pretty much the same way that you would add a song to your cart. Instead, you have to manually type or copy paste song titles to another window that has your playlist open. And you then have to tick the box of the song you want to add, then you have to click add song, and it's pretty clunky at this stage, and hopefully this gets improved later on. Playlists in Beatport, after all, are still in beta as well. One more thing, it's worth noting that you're not able to create Beatport Link playlists from within Rekordbox DJ. You have to do it on the Beatport site. You also can't drag songs from Beatport Link over onto standard Rekordbox DJ playlists and vice versa.
So once you've got songs in a playlist in Beatport, you can then open that playlist in Rekordbox DJ and drop those songs in the decks for playback. It takes a few seconds for the track's full waveform and other data to load depending on how fast your connection is, but it does load eventually, that's the good news, and it plays back in full, so even if the internet suddenly conks out, the track playback won't stop.
Speaking of an internet connection, these two methods I mentioned require either a Wi-Fi or 3G, 4G, or 5G connection, but the real strength of Beatport Link, and one that I think will help this gain mainstream adoption, is the ability to play music even without being connected to the internet, and that feature is called Offline Locker. So whenever you load a track onto a deck, Rekordbox automatically downloads and stores that track in the offline locker as denoted by this Beatport icon in the browser. That basically means you can now play that track whenever you want, even when you aren't connected to the internet. And you can choose to download and store several songs at once. It's pretty easy. Just highlight all the tracks that you want to grab, say in a playlist, and then you click the download button here at the top of the browser. Those get added to your offline locker, and you can store 50 songs in a Beatport Link Pro account and 100 songs in a Beatport Link Pro Plus account. Now, if you go over your locker limit, existing songs get overwritten and you'll have to download them again, so that's something that you've got to keep in mind when you're adding tracks to your offline locker.
Now, since I wanted to try this at a gig at a venue without an internet connection, I needed to store my tracks in the offline lockers, so I made a playlist, I added tunes to it, and then I downloaded them to the locker. Alright, so I'm here at the gig, at the green room, and just waiting for my turn to go on, and basically I've got my laptop set up already over here, just going through my playlists again, and of course, first thing I wanted to check was whether or not the playlist I made in Beatport Link actually made it, and it looks like they did. So I've got all these songs over here. These are stored in my offline locker. So again, I am not connected to the internet, but I am able to load all these songs. You can see my Wi-Fi is closed, and I can play these if I like. Everything works A-okay, so that's awesome. I shouldn't have any problems later on when I start my set. So things turned out pretty okay. I was able to play songs from both my local hard drive and my offline locker, and I didn't have any problems at all, which was nice considering, again, that these are both beta products at this stage, right? At one point, I kind of forgot that I was actually playing music that I had downloaded from a music streaming platform. The sound quality was really good, and the tracks played as normal. Again, just like I had the tracks in my hard drive. Now, if the internet was stable at the gig venue, I would have been able to try actually streaming during the gig, but it just wasn't possible because there wasn't any Wi-Fi available and my 4G, my phone was spotty. And I'm sure a lot of DJs will experience the same thing, which is why I think the offline locker itself is the biggest feature of Beatport Link. Basically, it nullifies your dependence on an active internet connection, which is another thing you'd have to worry about if you're actually streaming live while DJing.
While I had a good experience with Beatport Link, there are some downsides to this. Again, since you don't own the music that you're playing, there are some things that you can't do. For example, you can't change track metadata. And even if you try to add a comments field so you can type something, well, you're not going to be able to type anything because, yeah, you can't edit the track metadata. You also can't drag a song from Beatport Link over to a Rekordbox DJ playlist, or a song from a Rekordbox DJ playlist over onto a Beatport Link playlist. In fact, you can't drag songs from Beatport Link into playlists at all. You have to do everything over at the Beatport site. Plus, you can't record a mix if you're playing music from Beatport Link.
Now, it's still early days for Beatport Link and streaming in DJ software, but while I was using it, it really felt like what the future of digital DJing could be. Now, of course, there's nothing like owning your music, whether it's physical or digital, but as Spotify, Apple Music, Netflix, and YouTube, as they become even more entrenched in our lives, the time may come when DJs don't actually own their music anymore. Gasp, I know, right? Instead, they'll be paying a subscription fee and making playlists and then dropping those songs at gigs. Will that mean no one will buy music anymore? I don't think so. people will always want to own at least a few things that are important to them because, those things are extensions of one's personality. So if you're a DJ in the future, chances are you'll still buy the odd vinyl record, cassette, or limited edition download for artists that you really like. But maybe for the bulk of the music that you'll be spinning, they'll come in the form of tracks that come from a service like Beatport Link. Thanks for watching this review. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Do you want to try it out, or would you rather keep buying your MP3s and music instead of renting from a streaming service? Let us know in the comments and let's get a nice conversation going. Now get good, get out there, and make the moments.